Today is May 1st, 2024. It's Wizard Wednesday. It's a good day to join a cult. Channeling in from the Quantum Downs, this is the Black Goat of the Wood, Elf J Trul, and I've got some friends joining me.
We've got the Orange Puppet Wizard Dotta. Hello, and joining us,
the Business Bear. What's going on, boys?
What's up, Business Bear?
What's up?
Business Bear is being businessy. It's beautiful out. No complaints. Just working. I feel like we're getting a lot done. I feel like we're getting a lot done lately.
Oh, there's so much going on. It's literally impossible to talk about right now.
Literally.
and we've got Tad with us. Tad, where are you sitting right now?
I got upgraded to the AC room, so I moved back inside.
Bear and I had a video chat with Tad earlier today, and he made me so jealous because he's sitting in a jungle on a beach.
Not so bad, Tad.
Yeah,
chase your dreams, boys and girls. Chase your dreams.
I'm trying, man. I'm this close to moving my wizard operation to the jungle. Tad said he found or he knows of a really great cartel compound that I could buy. That according to Tad is, quote, right across the river. So that sounds good to me.
Yeah, that's the wrong side of the river. That's the wrong side of the river, though.
Sorry, what did you say, Tad?
Yeah, Tad, go ahead.
I said recently vacated. So it's ready for immediate occupancy. Unless the old owners come back.
Patch a few bullet holes, restore
chalk lines on the floor.
Yeah, a little bit of upkeep. Upkeep, you say, maintenance.
I feel like this is the beginning of what could become the Magic Machine compound. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, man. All right, we'll put that on the long to-do list. All right, we've got a big show today. We've got a lot of fun cult questions. I've got an update on some lore and some maps. But first, I just want to say, have you guys been seeing these gator hats all over Twitter?
Yeah, I need to get one of those. Those are awesome. And they're in all different styles,
are they?
Too. They're so cool. I don't know. Someone tell us.
I don't remember I think it's a mint, though, isn't it?
No idea.
I think it is related to a mint.
I don't know either. I know that Jason, Jay the Wiz, has had one of those on his PFP forever, and I saw they came out with a mint recently, and runes were involved, but I don't know the details either.
It's Token Gators, a Super Paper Things production. We'll share it up here in the chat.
Yeah, well, it looks like they custom made gator hats for the wizards. It's, from what I can tell, it's not just like a simple overlay that's generic. Like it looks like they're fitting them onto every wizard head that I've seen.
Yeah, they're doing specific styles, unique styles for each collection, which is pretty cool.
It's very cool. All right, well, I love the gator hats.
Adam Hollander even got a shadow
hat.
Gator, which is really cool.
Yeah, they're pretty cute. But yeah, I saw it on Jay's Wizard months ago, and I thought he was just messing around. But no, I guess it's it's a thing.
I don't know what the project actually is. I don't know what they do.
Well, they got cute hats.
But yeah, they make cute hats
on things. Yeah, I think they put hats on things.
Yeah. That's all you need.
Yeah, their website is just their token.
I'm interested in
the token.
And from what I understand, I think you can just respond to one of their tweets, and they'll just put the gator hat right on your head. I kind of want to get one because I already have a bear head. Like I have a head and then a shape-shifting bear cap, and then a cap on a cap. And it's never a bad thing to put a hat on a hat,
No, that's a great idea, dude.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
I love it. Okay, guys, do you remember in the last team meeting we were talking about shaking up Wizard Wednesday, and we were like, let's maybe put cult questions near the end. But I don't even know if we landed on an exact decision. So I'll just ask you, is there anything you want to talk about before I jump into cult questions?
Oh, I'm good with cult questions.
Yeah,
for
I
now.
mean, I want to get to the world is.
Good
I want to get to
warm-up.
the world's ending. Crypto's over. We should. What are we going to do next? Because obviously everything is dying. We have a cult. We should do something with it.
No, let's
Bitcoin will never hit 70K again.
let's talk about that because it is in the title.
Let's do
actually.
questions. Let's do questions, Elf.
Well, okay.
I think
we'll
we
do-
lost Elf because he cut out that last time.
Wait, can you hear me?
I can hear him just fine. I can hear both of you, but you can't
I'm
hear each other.
leaving. Bye.
clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, bye, Bear. Okay, I'll do for cult questions. All right, J-Mander. J-Mander is actually starting off with a really good lore question. So he's asking, is there one sacred flame or multiple endpoints tied to the same power? Or does it happen to appear at the right point in history? But I'm not exactly how you're wording this, but I think the basic question is like, is there one sacred flame or are there many? And this is actually a really, really good question. It's actually a central question that's driving a lot of the story in the Runeverse, and specifically, I mean the comic and the show script. And it's just there's typically a flame, like just a normal flame, could be multiplied infinitely as long as it has fuel to burn. But the sacred flame is different. Because it seems to burn eternally without a real fuel source. I think it's got powers beyond just transmogrifying wizards. Um, and yeah, what is the source? Was there one sacred flame that has been broken up into many? What is the ultimate origin and purpose? I mean, I'll say right now, there are, of course, many existing as tokens and still in the possession of many people in the cult. Um, but this question of like, where did it come from? What is its power? Is really fun. I can tell you that Joe, the comic writer, definitely touches on this over the course of the 10-issue series. And the show script that I'm writing really explores this idea in a lot of fun ways. Because the Sacred Flame is indeed a kind of all-powerful, sacred, magical relic that drives a lot of storylines. So J-Mander, I'm not going to give you an exact answer yet, but I do think there is a source, and I do think that multiplying this flame does come at great cost. So yeah, really good question. Okay, Waz is asking, who was the first wizard to sail around the ocean? I wonder. And I think that this question is not so much a sincere inquiry as it is trolling of a flat earther. I think I don't know. I think Noah has already given us an answer, and I think it's Jimmy. However, Noah, I am not going to accept this as a real answer until it's in the Book of Lore or the Wikipedia. So there you go. Okay, more geography questions. And these geography questions, I think, are coming from something I tweeted like an hour ago, which is we can finally see the runic supercontinent on a 3-dimensional sphere, which speaks to a larger project I'm working on involving the map, but I'll touch on that later. So anyway, Chronomancer Eden is asking, are all of the islands volcano related or magic created? So all the geography on the planet was formed as the result of the technological singularity. That was the primary catalyst for the formation of the supercontinent. However, there are, of course, still a lot of natural geographical forces at play here, including volcanic activity, plate tectonics, coral reef buildup, as in the case of the Donut Atoll, and yes, also magic. So really, it just kind of depends on what island you're talking about. Okay, Dotta, I'm going to throw this question to you. Sharon is asking, will the Book of Lore have subcategories for each character? For example, I would like Kathleen to have subpages where I can add stories about her boyfriend Birch, pages for the Emerald Forest, pages for Kez the Falcon, and so on.
Absolutely, yeah. We have designs in the laboratory for a Book of Lore V2, and it's going to get an overhaul. I mean, you'll still be able to kind of do all the things you know and love, where you can write stories and upload pictures and make connections. All of those things will stay, but I think this idea around organization will get a lot more sophisticated. So, I think that we will want to have more of the ability to kind of have like a table of contents, have like almost folders, have a bit more organization. If you've ever seen like Gitbook or some of these like editing tools where you're able to actually organize the outline, yeah, we're gonna add that sort of thing. It's gonna be great. I'm very much looking forward to it. The Book of Lore V2 is gonna be a lot like m- more of like well, it's gonna have like a character page along with sort of this archive of lore. So yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah, we're actually talking to I guess, a design agency about just a massive rebrand of everything, including the Book of Lore. So we're kind of just working on them, or waiting on them to just give us some style guidance. But yeah, Book of Lore V2 is going to be awesome.
Dotta, wait, hold on. Dotta, how
Yep.
many new pages are you currently wireframing right now? Do you have a count?
For the website?
Yeah, I feel like you're working on like 6 to 7 brand new sort of arms or like pieces of the website right now.
Yeah, that's about right.
It's
Yes,
kind of cool.
it's going to be great. So yeah, we're working on a lot to make the website better. I don't want to put a deadline on myself because I'm working on a lot of other stuff that's not on the website too. But yeah, you'll see some good improvements there pretty soon. And I just think as we kind of like roll into this year, we want to make sure that the brand is really top shelf. I think the designs we've done so far are okay, but we've enlisted the help of some really talented folks that will help kind of elevate. They'll elevate what we've got, so that way we can. One of the things we kind of realized as we've been doing kind of a design audit of the site is we don't have like a page on the website for the comic book that dives super deep. We don't have a page on the website that dives deep into the show. We don't have a page on the website that dives deep into the Runeverse game. I mean, the Runeverse game has its own website, but even that is somewhat thin. And so, we kind of like feel, oh, all these things we're working on are so obvious and so in depth. And then when you go to the website and you click on, comic or something, it brings you to one paragraph on the homepage that just has one image. And so it's just so clearly, we have a shortcoming in kind of like the coverage of the sort of flagship products that we have. So yeah, we're working with a group that can help us kind of see those blind spots with fresh eyes, be able to like build up the branding. So I'm pretty excited about it.
It's very exciting. Before I move on, Jitsi, welcome to Wizard Wednesday.
What's up, everybody?
Jitsi!
Oh man, it's so anyway, if anybody, I said in the Secret Tower a couple
I
days
can't
ago.
hear him.
You can't hear me? Hello?
I can
You
hear
guys hear me?
I got you.
Yeah, we can.
Oh, said in the Secret
Man,
Tower a
Twitter
couple days ago, but
Spaces.
I like ended up moving to Tennessee, and I'm finally, for the first hour, literally around Wizard Wednesday, was able to get away from what we're doing, and it has been. I'll have to tell everybody the story later. It has been everything that could have gone wrong for this move has gone wrong, and it has been a nightmare of a move. I can't even explain in words how like I'm like, oh, this is gonna go so flawlessly. I'm so ready. Let's do this. 48 hours in, let's get there. And it ends up being just every turn there is something happening that's saying just like the world's saying, no, you don't get to move today, or you don't get to do this today. And I'm just so exhausted. I'm ready to fall over in this lawn right now. But I'll be back in front of my computer tomorrow morning. I wanted to stop it and say hi to everybody, but holy heck, it has been a freaking wild ride. I hope you all are doing great.
Jitsi, how
Yeah.
many of those things are your fault? Or were they just or were they just things that
95% of them probably. Like there's been a couple like thing. You know what it was? It was pure confidence in the ability to do things when it came to moving that I had no idea that I was. It's mostly mine. There were a couple things that just like the car was having issues or the hotel forgot my reservation. Just things here and there, but like it was mostly me because I thought I could get it all done within a time frame that was not feasible. So here we are. But I've moved. I'm here. I'll be back online tomorrow. I know my DMs are. I haven't responded to anybody, but I'll get to it. Just wanted to pop in and say I love you all. Holy heck. Nice to hear everyone's voice, though.
This
got
is how I
screwed.
know that Jitsi has been busy, because normally he is the one who posts the most often in the Magic Machine Discord, and he's been totally absent for like 3 days. So that
Silence.
means he's unbelievably busy.
Like what I love about one of the many things I love about Jitsi is like I'll wake up, I get up like 5:30 or 5:45 every morning, and I'll wake up and Jitsi is on the East Coast time, and without ever skipping a day, I wake up to the first thing in Discord is GM from Jitsi in the company Discord. I freaking love it.
Gotta keep the vibes up all the time.
Gotta
it's-
do
all
it,
right.
man.
No, it's regular GMs, and then about 3 times a week, it's in all caps. I just drank 2 coffees, and I am ready for the day.
Yeah,
My
hell
eyes
yeah,
are
that's nice.
vibrating.
The all caps caffeine text is DM is
Yeah.
amazing.
They hit hard. Okay, I wanted to pop in and just say hi. I have to get back to everything. I'm unloading everything currently, but was able to step away for a second. Love you all. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good
Love you,
one.
Jets.
See you soon.
Love,
Bye, guys.
peace.
Bye.
What a great
Dotta-
guy.
I know, he's the best. Dud, are you back?
I'm back. I totally forgot what I was going to say. Let's just keep going.
I just want to say that between all of us, it seems that I have the best internet, which is why I usually always host, I think is the reason. Dota, I can understand why your internet's crappy. You have Starlink, but Bear, what's your excuse?
I feel like my internet's good. My thing is like I go in between my phone and my machine, and I'm like going in and out of the office. I'm jumping off of Wi-Fi to cellular. I'm so ADHD that like I'm just moving constantly, so it's really my fault.
Human error on that one. Okay.
Yeah, skill issue.
I'll tell you why mine is so good. I shit you not. The name of my internet provider is Quantum Fiber. So just the name alone is probably why it's so good. It's quantum shadow resistant. Okay. Okay. One final question from Sweetbread, and this is a very sweet question. She says, "When are you guys adding possums?" Sweetbread, do you know how badly I want to do my own little on the side private possum mini low edition NFT collection, like pixel possums?
Yo, oh my God, Pixel Possums is amazing. And I want you to make a little game where all they do is just like eat ticks.
Yeah, totally. It'd be adorable.
It'd be so adorable. When there's time, when there's time.
Yeah, someday, Sweetbread. Okay, I think that's all the cult questions. So yeah, let me come to this map. Come back to this map for a second. I have a fun. Well, okay, so yeah, so I'm working on like not just an update of the map, but kind of even a new version. I had to shift some of the landmass around because I ran into a classic cartographer's dilemma, which is a 2D. Okay, a map on a 2D plane is very different from a map on a 3-dimensional sphere. These are not the same thing. You cannot just take a 2-dimensional map and just wrap it around a sphere and expect it to look right. It's like mathematically impossible. And so that's why if you go to like Wikipedia and just look at all the different ways to project a map on a 2-dimensional plane, there's infinite different ways to do this. And so I took the current map we have, the one that everyone knows and loves, and I put it on a sphere, and it looked like hell. So I'm kind of just redrawing the entire thing. I mean, I think when you first look at it, you're not going to think I changed anything, which is great. But yeah, it needed a lot of just shuffling around. So that's number one. Number two, I'm working on the biomes. And of course the biomes are very much related to lines of latitude and longitude on a sphere. This is very important for determining a climate on a globe. So that's kind of another reason I had to redraw it. But yeah, so biomes are coming. And then the third really fun thing is I talked to Tad this morning, and we're going to launch this sort of new little mini community initiative where I want to put a lot of community created places on this new map update. So I've already talked to Matto, and I talked to Leif Dojang and a few others, talked to Meeple Dad. Oh, Meeple has been a huge help. Meeple has been really lending a lot of geological expertise to me to help me make this map. But yeah, so Tad is going to make a document, and I want everybody who wants a place featured on this map to put their place on the document. I want you to put like your name, the name of the place, and then it's got to have a book of lore or Wikipedia entry. You cannot put a place until it has a book of lore or Wikipedia entry. That's a requirement. And even then, I can't promise that everybody's going to be featured on this map, but I'm going to try to fit as many as I can. So.
And
Go
I'll
ahead,
add
Troy.
to this that, this is a precursor to a lot of the like world building tools that we are prototyping. Like, again, we're a small team, we're working on a lot of things. So I don't know when we'll have it, but we've been ideating on a book of maps for, gosh, I don't know, a year now. And now we're starting to kind of get some ideas about how that user interface might actually work, because like it's a little bit different than kind of, well, your character tokens, where it's a pretty clear model that like you own this character, you can write about this character. But how do we deal with kind of developing the world itself in a way that feels like collaborative, crypto native, useful, like you're able to kind of like spam resistant but also censorship resistant, right? Like, so how do we think through these issues of like collaborative world building? And I actually don't think that I've seen any tools on the internet anywhere that have kind of allowed this degree of kind of like collaborative world building. The closest thing I can think of would be like Waze, where it's community kind of like edited waypoints of like, oh, there's a police officer here, or there was an accident here, right? Like that's the closest analog, but there's never been anything to this degree of like world building in a collaborative tool for kind of like a fantasy brand. And so, yeah, I think it's a hard problem. It's going to take us some time to do it, but I think the first step really can just be like, you have an entry in the book of lore, tell Elf where you want it in this document, and that's going to be V1. But V whatever 2 or 3 is going to be this tool that's a lot like the book of lore, where we can kind of all come together and develop these areas collaboratively.
Yes. I'm glad you mentioned that. It's something that we've been talking about a lot, and like Dotta said, I think V1 is just going to feature like all the main places that everybody knows with like a handful of community places. But V2 and 3 is going to be like zoom into the map, and more places will expose themselves. There'll be more room to add places, and I think like V5 and on will eventually just be like the majority of the map will be totally UGC. So yeah, it'll just keep increasing resolution and fidelity, and it'll almost become less of a map and more of a world at that point. But yeah, something really fun we're working on. Inchby, your hand is up.
Yo, sorry to be a little late today, everybody.
What's up?
Similar to Jitsi, I've had a little bit of stuff dropped on my plate today. My sister's cat is unfortunately having some health issues. And so I come to you with 2 requests. The first is to please like the space,
Oh my God!
comment
Oh
on the space,
yeah, we
repost the
forgot about
space, let
that.
the cult know we're out here doing our cult thing. And if you wouldn't mind,
Suck as
put some good vibes
influencers.
out there in the Runeverse for my sister's cat Mochi. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. Hate to ask you for the engagement farming, but it does help us reach more people who haven't heard the good word of the cult.
No, it's
so
good.
Give us a hand.
I just have a question. Why your sister named her cat after Machi? What did you say, Mochi?
One letter very close to danger there.
Yeah. Watch it, sister.
We'll get better, Machi and Inchby. Thank you. Yes, please, everybody, like the stream, share the stream, comment on the stream.
Kiss the
We did
stream.
we did this last week, and it really helped.
It actually did. It actually did. For everybody who actually did it, it made a difference. And you know what? Speaking of engagement, this is something that might happen next week. I might turn the video feed on next week.
Oh, I'm gonna do that too. I want to do that too. That was a suggestion by Entropy. I'm down.
And Dotta, I believe, said this would be his first face reveal. Is that right, Dotta?
Yeah, right.
No way. I've been working with Matto's firm to get a VTuber, a Dota VTuber, but they're kind of slow.
My favorite thing that Dotta said this week was there's something came up where there's like this very sort of high level conference and group of people that we want to meet with, and it's in Europe, and so I messaged Dotta. I was like, I think someone's gonna have to go to this thing. Do you want to go? And his response was, I can't imagine wanting to do anything less. I laughed out loud when you wrote that. You're very constant. You're like, at least like you're consistent with your ability to never want to go anywhere. I respect that.
Yeah, I'm not really a traveling guy. Like, there's a reason why I picked this career, and it's
Why? But why? Is this like? Let's get into it. What happened to you? Why do you not want to see the world? You're so inquisitive and you love learning. You don't want to go anywhere. Tell me. Tell us.
Everything he needs is at home.
yeah, I really like my house. I can eat the food that I like. I can work out. I spend time with my family. I'm in the woods. It's like, why would you want to get on a plane? Ew.
I don't know, because I'm gonna be there. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, all right.
Oh wow.
Bear, honestly, I prefer that he stays at the computer. He gets a lot more work done.
Yeah, that's true. I can get a lot more work done.
That's true. It's just, I guess it really is. It's like it falls on my shoulders to go out and travel, and that's okay. I love traveling.
That's why I need you. I need somebody who can go out there and, like, be my connection with the outside world.
Yeah, I will come back and tell you of all of the things the world is doing.
Yeah,
and then we can connect to it and win everything.
Okay, so Dotta will not be showing his face on the video chat next week. It's funny because Bear and I are much more open about showing our faces. And I always, I always wondered if there would come a day when Dotta would change his mind. But then I read a tweet by Garga, like I think it was this week, and he said, "Founders, if you can stay anonymous, do it." And I was like, "Oh shit, too late for me."
Yeah,
Dotta was the smart one.
Well, I think I'll be doxxed between the two of you before too long. It's not that hard to track us down, but it's still just easier this way. The best thing, people want to be famous, but a lot of people end up famous and poor in the age of social media, and I think it's probably better to be anonymous and rich than to be famous. I don't think fame really gets you that much.
No, fame does not last very long. Some of the most famous people I know are the most miserable.
I just want to know if Dotta's ever going to show his face to us. Like, we still haven't even seen it.
Liar! Remember when I met you, Dotta?
I did have to ask Entropy his real name earlier this week. I'm like, hey, dude, like, what's your name, by the way? Like, I need to do some paperwork. Who are you, by the way?
He doesn't even want to know the people on the team.
I mean, I want to know their pseudonyms and if their cats are okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Revolt. Hello. Did you have a question or comment?
Yes. Hello.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yes.
Hello.
I'm already loving this.
Hello, wizards.
Hello.
How are you today?
We're great. How are you?
Wonderful.
Hey, when did you? Revolt, what's going on? I can see. Did you just join Twitter?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, which side of the wall do I get to be on?
Oh, it's a wonderful question. I actually am tuning in from the last world to the Quantum Downs. Is the reception okay?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Clear.
It's fine.
Wonderful.
What is happening? Tell us something amazing, Revolt.
What would you like to know about our world, Bear Man?
I'd like to know about the wall.
The wall.
I want to know about the wall.
Keep us safe, of course.
If the peasants are at the gates, I think that I'd be on the inside.
Oh, you know the peasants?
Not very many.
I see some in the crowd.
I'm a layperson.
Ah,
I was really expecting the air horn right at that moment.
Revolt, what gifts have you brought us today?
oh, gifts?
Well, just like verbal gifts.
Verbal gifts.
Or tokens.
Tokens. Oh, we have many tokens in the land of revolt in the Lost World. We actually have access to wonderful technologies. I hear you guys are good with technology.
We're pretty good. Magic too.
Magic?
Magic and technology.
You have magic.
We have magic. We're wizards.
This is why I'm here.
Revolt, you look kind of like Thomas Jefferson. Are you indeed Thomas
I
Jefferson?
don't know that white person.
Okay.
Revolt, what is this PFP is amazing. Is that your actual photo?
Thank you. That is me. That is a picture of me. It was painted by my commissioned artist. I have him on my commissions at all times. That my name is actually Bartholomew Earl.
Bartholomew Earl. Okay.
That's it.
You couldn't think of that last
Bartholomew
name,
Earl.
could you?
No.
Revolt, can you tell us a little bit about this R? It appears to be an R-shaped home or house or some sort of
That's
domicile
actually
in
a
your banner.
factory.
I'm
That's
curious.
where we do our factorizing.
Okay.
We process things there. That's a factory.
Got it.
What kind of things do you process?
Oh, we cannot give away trade secrets, Mr. Man Bearsnake. Well, you have to have access to the factory.
When can I get keys to the factory?
Well, let's talk, you and I. I'm just getting used to this Twitter thing, so let's DM me.
You know DM. Okay, look at you. All right, I'm going to DM you right now. This is great. I need to get into that R-shaped building immediately.
You've
Just
adapted
don't
to
bring
the
any
modern
peasants.
world really well, Revolt.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we are currently dealing with a crisis in our kingdom, and that's why I'm seeking additional powers from other powerful people like you're wizards, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So yes,
Most of us.
any key artifacts, things of power, I could use them immediately. So I am willing to trade many things, but just DM me, and I have to go now.
Okay, Revolt.
All right,
Thank
good
you.
luck.
Thanks for
Good
stopping
luck with
by.
the
Yeah, stay
factorizing.
safe out there.
They're here. Oh no.
God, I want to know what they're factorizing so badly.
Yeah. This is exactly the right kind of space for that sort of person.
Yeah, I don't know that white person.
Do you guys remember when Vladimir Putin came on the space and told us to fuck off?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
That was so rude.
I like Thomas Jefferson way better than Vladimir Putin for many reasons.
Oh man, I love that voice.
I think of Jefferson as probably more a wizard and Putin as more of a warrior. So
Yep, true that,
Oh.
Matto.
That's right.
Absolutely. Okay. Acid, do you have a DAO update or really anything else you'd like to talk about?
I have some DAO updates.
Fantastic. Let's hear them.
All right.
Cool. So, following some of the issues that came up during the May voting period, we focused on brainstorming a new proposal process this week. So, if anyone wasn't paying attention, there was just some back and forth and I don't know, a lot going on around Maple Dad's proposal and just some changes that happened with it and deadlines and personal lives and things going on and people wanting to see more and just wanting to change the proposal process kind of overall to make it a little easier for everyone to work with. So first and foremost, we are going to put together a survey for community feedback to hopefully get that out in May. But the new proposal process that we kind of put together so far will go as follows. So change the voting cadence to hopefully you can't hear my turkeys outside. Change the voting cadence to every 2 months. instead of every single month. So potentially starting the new process on June 1st. So every proposal would go through 2 months of this process instead of just one. Extend the comment period to 20 days instead of the 10 days that it is now. Following that 20 days, the author then has 72 hours to submit the final proposal to the council for going on Snapshot. And then after that, Reptar or whoever is posting the snapshot has 72 hours to do so. And then from there, have a 7-day locked period where the final proposals are viewable for the community to read up on before voting on them. Because that's one thing I was hearing about, just like people having enough time to get this idea and understand everything before having the whole voting pressure. And so then in that locked period, the council will start hosting supporting proposal materials on the council Google Drive so that changes can't be made after it's late or after it's too late. And then to keep links consistent instead of a bunch of different files being everywhere on different proposals, just keep everything a little more consistent. And then finally end it with a 2-week voting window instead of one. So that was one thing we've also heard some comments on, is just that voting isn't long enough for everyone to get enough information. But then hopefully that, in addition to a little extra comment period, there is just more back and forth with authors about proposals, because that was a big thing, just community engagement and their comments and ideas for everyone's proposals. And yeah, we've been hearing a lot of the feedback, so hopefully that addresses problems. And if anyone wants to say anything else about it, you can DM a council member or save your feedback for the survey or post in HowDAO. Can always chat there. And yeah, if we can come up with a new flow that the community seems content with, we can pass a special council proposal in May to get these changes started in June. But that also means that any proposals submitted for a vote in May will be done via the current process, not a new one. So just keep that in mind if anyone wants to submit one for May. We already have one in the works. I don't remember everything about it. So you'll have to go to the proposal channel to check that out. And that's it for the DAO.
Thank you, Acid, aka Salty Sloan.
Yes, Pirate Queen.
Grazie.
Okay. Well, okay, who wants to talk about blood in the water and protection spells?
Yeah, where do we get them?
Yeah.
Dotta, write a protection spell bot.
that prevents the market from dumping. How hard could that be?
Yeah.
Or just my personal bag from dumping.
Stop buying Solana.
Oh! You don't like
Um,
Solana, Dotta, do you?
No, I like it. I just didn't think you should have bought it like a month ago. I just felt like it ran where it was going to go. Yeah, there's a saying, sell in May and walk away. Every single year I've been in crypto, in April, everyone says sell in May and walk away. And every single year, April is kind of like feels a bit bullish, and people are like, nah, it's different this May. That's just a meme. I'm not going to sell. And every single year we kind of get this drawdown in May. So we should have all known. We should have all known in April.
I just don't. Yeah. I don't really care. I like it. I wasn't trying to like get out, and I'm just trying to. I feel very comfortable just hanging out and working instead of trying to like time it. I'm long term, baby.
1000% agree. The sell in May walk away thing, even though it might have legitimacy, it's not, in my opinion, it's not great to trade with that information. Because then what happens after May? It goes right back up. And you just incurred a lot of like short-term capital gains taxes for what? It's going to go even higher. So I don't know. It's the swing trading on sell in May just seems ridiculous to me. But that's not the kind of crypto guy I am, I guess.
Meanwhile, Dota's rich AF in May, every May.
He's actually eating.
Yeah, I think that like the macro climate is interesting because they're basically doing like another bank bailout by buying back treasuries over the next couple of months, right? Like one of the things you'll kind of start hearing about is how They don't want to call it a bailout. It's the bailout that they're not going to call a bailout, where they buy back treasuries. And really what that's just doing is helping relieve some of the stress that the banking system has. And the banking system has quite a lot of stress right now. I think that the FDIC just took over First Republic. I think is that
Yeah.
right? If you look at kind of how underwater the banks are, especially on commercial real estate, but in their loans outstanding, it's quite ridiculous. And the FDIC funds are nowhere near big enough to kind of cover those losses. So, yeah, I think buy Bitcoin is kind of the outcome there, I suppose. But even Bitcoin prices are a function of liquidity, so you kind of, you're kind of stuck either way. I don't really think there's any way out of it.
Are you saying I should mortgage my house and buy Bitcoin?
No,
I'm not.
Not at these rates.
No,
Yeah.
he's saying mortgage your house and buy Solana.
He's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
not saying that.
It can only go up from here. Yeah.
I was, speaking of buying a house, you know what I keep hearing, and maybe this is a tangent, but I think it does have to do with just like blood in the water, is I feel so bad. There's like late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, maybe people that just like, I keep seeing them say this in real life and on the timeline, like, I guess I'll never own a house.
Yep.
And I just think that's so sad. Not that like owning a house is the end all be all, but there is something nice about owning the building that you live in. And it just bums me out, man. And it doesn't seem like the rates will ever really get back as low as they were after that after the '09 crash. I don't know.
But like give it like 5 to 10 years, the boomers are all dying. And so like there's going to be a lot of inventory on the market that is unoccupied because like the boomers hold all this real estate. And so a lot of them will pass it down to their children, but not all
That's
of them.
true. But the rates are
so-
like before people could afford to buy a house, at a certain price because the rate was so low. But now, it's really it's the rates are just at a point where like they're just so high, even though that was the norm, like 20 years ago, 15 years ago.
Right. And they're also so inflated,
Yeah.
right? Like even though the rates were higher in the 70s, like the relative to kind of like salaries, like I think it's like maybe 3 or 4 times higher relative to the average salary, the average house price than it was.
I mean, believe it or not, I'm no economic genius, but it does seem unsustainable to have really high interest rates and ridiculously priced homes. Something's got to give.
I'm not certain that a demographic shift in boomers dying off is going to help the situation because private equity is buying up a lot of the housing stock, and they can basically afford any price that these boomers will ask.
Well, that's true, but also like the boomers are the largest generation. Like childbirth has shrunk from every kind of generation since then, and so there is like an occupancy issue that does fight against this idea that BlackRock's going to buy up all the houses. Like BlackRock will buy all the houses, but they're not going to buy a lot of inventory and just sit on it if it's all empty because there's literally like not enough people. So I'm not saying that that's happening next year, right? We're talking 10 years out.
Yeah, but how much of that is also going to get captured by like inheritance taxes and stuff? Like all those estates are probably going to be like at some point, it's like, all their debts when they die as well, so it gets liquidated for it and stuff
Good
like
point.
that. There's a lot of boomers who they have a lot of houses, but like they take like second, third mortgages on it, so that way they can go on vacation in their 80s still. And then like by the time like all right, they pass, but like now they have pretty much like all that debt, and it's like all right, so your children inherit nothing, or it's going to get taken away from taxes because the government wants their cut.
I gotta stop. I gotta tell Mama Bear stop taking so many freaking vacations. Then, jeez, I'm getting worried here. Yeah. Why are people aren't having babies? I saw Elf's favorite person, Elon, tweet something about like at this rate, like there's going to be no more people because no one's having babies.
They can't afford it.
Can't afford it. I get it. My kids are sucking me dry, man. Anyone want some kids?
Oh, I'll take Henry.
No, that's okay. Poor Catherine.
I feel sorry for Catherine. That's sad.
I know. You know what? She's all grown up. She doesn't need anyone now. until she calls me and she needs something.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think the market is going to bounce back. Give it like till the summer. It's funny. It's like the same pattern happens every cycle, and people get unnecessarily bearish when it goes down, as if it's the end of all. And then they, of course, get ridiculously bullish when it starts going up, and people say up forever. It's the same damn thing every time, and it's hilarious to see it play out.
Well, and the reasons for why Bitcoin was invented, namely like the debasement of the U.S. dollar, are worse than they ever, right? Like worse than the 2008 bailout, right? The all of the ways in which kind of the federal government is overspending beyond its budget, in which we're about to be spending more in debt than we are in defense financing, right? Like all of those issues for why we need Bitcoin are stronger than ever. And so while we're still coupled to this idea of kind of like it's still correlated with global liquidity, that's still an issue, but ultimately like Bitcoin is the sound money that's available. Bitcoin is interesting. So, there's I was listening to this guy the other day, and he was saying, he was saying like, oh, the rich are going to use this money from the federal government to inflate their assets, and so I'm buying gold. And I thought that was like really stupid, because it's like, well, if the assets are going to inflate, why would you buy gold? Because gold is sort of this like inflationary hedge. It doesn't necessarily like go up in prices. This is supposed to be stable value. Bitcoin is interesting because you kind of get like the best of both worlds, if you believe in it, because you get not only sort of this like stabilization of value, but you also get like the tail risk kind of speculation price as well. And so, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just saying that I think like that the U.S. dollar is definitely in precarious situation, and I'm not worried that Bitcoin has gone from 70K down to 57 over the last few weeks.
Same. Okay, side question. Have you ever looked at a bar of gold in real life?
Ooh, I don't think I've ever looked at like a full bar. I've got smaller than a bar, but not a full bar. No.
So, okay, it is gorgeous. I can see why
Maybe at a museum.
all of humanity across the world has loved this stuff. It's just beautiful. It's captivating. It's enchanting. Like dragon sickness is a real thing. However, that said, I think buying gold is so ridiculous. Because like the only real time I can imagine it being super valuable is if the world reaches like some kind of apocalyptic Mad Max situation where like all fiat is dead, Bitcoin is gone because the internet's gone, and it's like it's the one thing that everybody can agree that is valuable. It's what like the warlords will still want, just because it's got the history, right, and it's so beautiful. But it's like even in that situation, like if the world is that bad, they're just going to steal it from you. Good luck trading it. Right. But then like to even hold it today, it's number one, it's really difficult to store. Number two, I think I would be stressed AF even if I had a great way to store it. Either getting stolen or forgot where I buried it in the yard, or even just like right, passing it down. Like eventually along the generational line, like something bad is going to happen with that gold, I feel like.
Everybody give me their gold if you're worried about storing it.
So yeah, and and then trading like paper gold is like, what's the point of that? It's so I don't know. Gold is kind of silly to me, honestly.
Raoul Paul's Real Vision has a documentary on gold. It's like the story of man's 6,000-year obsession is the subtitle, and it's incredibly, incredibly good. I recommend you guys to watch it.
Wait, what is it? What is it
called?
What is it called?
It's just called Gold. So it's from Real Vision.
Yeah,
Real Vision,
yeah,
like Raoul Paul. He has it's a documentary called Gold: The Story of Man's 6,000-Year Obsession. It's incredibly good. It's very, very good because it sort of like shows you, the premise is that like, okay, everybody who has gold paid for it, and they are storing it as their value, and every year people have to try to mine as much gold as they can. Everyone on earth who's like close to gold mining tries to mine as much as they can, and like the price of the energy required to mine it out of the earth is sort of the price of gold. And that kind of gold will retain its value because all those other people who have it paid to get it, and so they want to keep it. And so, like, I have to say, actually, watching that documentary on gold was really the first time, well, maybe not the first time, but like in a deep way, the value of Bitcoin clicked for me, because it's the same analogy, even though they're not making that analogy necessarily in the documentary, but it was this analogy that, like, everybody who has their Bitcoins spent like money, energy, in order to get it. And so then, like, the value of it is in the energy that was put into creating it. And so you can be like kind of assured that it will retain its value, given that everybody who's holding it valued it to get it in the first place. So yeah, super recommend it. It's really helpful for the underpinnings of cryptocurrency, actually.
And we lost Bear.
He's busy trying to get gold right now. That's why. He heard where all your gold is stored.
Yeah.
He ran to secure his gold.
You're asking what the point of trading paper gold was, and I was going to say that the point is to be manipulated by JP Morgan,
Yeah.
who is 3 times manipulating the precious metal market, and they keep doing it because they just get slapped on the wrist. Like, they make more money than they get fined, so it doesn't matter.
Yes, exactly, dude. Exactly.
So everybody send their gold to me. I'll be putting an address in the Discord. No one wants gold.
It's funny. Okay, if I've ever become a billionaire, actually what I do want to do is buy a couple of gold bars, and make a really looking evil goat statue out of melt these gold bars and pour it into this mold, and pray to it every day. That's the best use of gold I can imagine.
I can help.
There will be signs.
There will be signs. I can help you with that. I have a smelting kit.
Oh, perfect.
Perfect.
So this is where the proceeds of the possum are going to go to?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the roadmap is all the Bitcoin will be smelted down into a gold statue.
How can we? Dotta, is there a way? I guess you can burn Bitcoin. Like, how do we melt Bitcoin? How do we smelt Bitcoin?
Well, you just have to buy. Brian, that's an interesting idea. I was going to say just buy the gold, but I understand what you're saying.
On-chain smelting.
Yeah.
I bet there are some crypto influencers who could just straight up say, here's my roadmap, I'm making a literal gold statue, send funds, and people would do it.
Yeah, Nick could do that.
You're almost there. Give us a year.
Elf is definitely not asking you to send funds to make a gold statue.
Yeah.
He's definitely not planning to put it in his compound in Central America.
Baphomet DAO.
Oh, that's good. Okay, we've got like 7 minutes left. How about we do everybody's favorite compilation of cult content?
And right before we get there, I know everyone's waiting for a big announcement. There's no big announcement today. They're still in the queue. Believe you me, it annoys me more than it annoys you. So we're working.
Wait, did you say there was going to be a big announcement today?
No, but everybody in the Discord was like, "Oh, I think there's going to be a big announcement. Oh, J-Mander, he better burn his soul before 5 p.m." And I don't know where that rumor came from. We're still working on all the same things we were working on last week, so we'll let you know soon. There you go, everybody's favorite word, soon.
Yeah.
I think someone mentioned that the big announcement was going to come because there's a lot of market turbulence, and whenever market's down, I mean, Magic Machine is going to launch.
Like Dotta said, believe you me, I wish we could, but it's not just us moving these pieces. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blame.
There's some good cult content this week.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Starting off.
Excuse me.
Oh, Bear. Yes, Bear.
What?
You're absolutely right. Let's have a look at the Cult Content Chronicle compiled by
the illustrious
Tommy Del Rio. Now you can go ahead.
Every week.
Every damn week. Every goddamn week.
We're gonna have to work on that. It's still not as smooth as it could be.
No, I never want to get it right. It's gonna be 10 years from now. We're never gonna get it right.
All right. Entropy, we need a cult content chronicle song.
Yeah.
That would be a fun jingle.
Or at least
It
I'll think on
actually
that.
would.
I'll think on that.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump in. Number one, DAOX Lab has been generating some really great pieces lately. And I think that they are actually offering one through a mint right now. So yeah, and it's actually a really cool one. This might be one of the coolest ones I've seen. So yeah, check that out. Zone 37 shared another mint of his Dancing Wizzy. You know what? I think we saw this one last week, but now it's available as a mint. And yeah, this was a very memorable piece. I remember it. Artsy shared a work in progress from Daniela Illustra, who basically has a piece of art in every single cult content. So this one is of our good friend Two Crows. Man, I miss Two Crows.
Shout out Two Crows.
Same. I
Shout
miss
out.
you, Two Crows.
Yeah.
I see Two Crows every once in a while IRL.
Hell's Moving Castle, the Runeverse.
And then Daniela also shared a really great piece of Sharon's Warrior, Kathleen, Protector of the Woodlands. Yeah, this one's really cool because it's got the shield and the sword in addition to the character. Magus Devon commissioned a piece from Psi7 NFT. Super cute. Black and white. I'm guessing this is a work in progress. And then also Machi NFT created a really cute version of Magus Devon in a new style that I haven't seen from Machi yet. Feckless Mage commissioned Pill Out 3 to do this really fun version of his Warrior Nova. And then Tanya. Okay, Tanya, did you actually buy this wizard? From the tweet, it looks like you're saying you bought this wizard.
Yeah, I think so. I think Tanya acquired Oberon. So for those who don't know, Oberon, I can't invite her up here. Oberon is a consequence of a bug in the sacred flame, burning the sacred flame. And it was really just this kind of one-time opportunity. And we were able to fix it right away. But, you know what, Elf? There are actually 10,001 wizards, depending on how you count now. So if you sum the number of wizards plus the souls. So yeah. So Oberon is both a wizard and a soul. He's the only
Oberon.
He's the only one
is occupying a quantum position between dead and not dead. And he's also sort of forbidden in that he has increased the overall supply by 1. So, Tanya, I don't know how. I mean, this wizard's existence kind of flummoxes me. But you know what? I'm glad that Tanya has it. So Tanya, well done in securing this Grail wizard. I can already tell that you're doing some really fun stuff with it because she's made a comic for it. But Dotta may have to remove it from the overall collection one of these days without your permission. So,
no way. It was just really magical. Like the bug itself, I'll have to do a write-up at some point because it basically had to. There was basically 2 numbers that had to align. I'm doing it off the top of my head, the count of the number of souls that were created had to line up exactly to another wizard's ID that had already been burned before. And just by this coincidence, someone had kind of uncovered this coincidence, and they were able to mint Oberon. And then we actually had a setting on our end that we were able to do to kind of completely turn it off, so it can never happen again, actually. I'm really glad that you have it, Tanya, because I think the lore here is really incredible, special, unique. There's so much to build
Deep
here.
lore.
Legendary. Well done, Tanya. Okay, Clooney the Rat is offering a free claim for Forgotten Runes holders in Nifty Island. Clooney the Monkey Sorcerer is a limited edition free game rig. Okay, Clooney the Scourge / Clooney the Rat has been making just a lot of really cool 3D stuff lately. And this little monkey guy is no exception. I mean, I can tell Clooney's got some real 3D skills. I mean, just to be able to make a game rig character requires a lot of 3D knowledge. So that's really cool, Clooney. So yeah, everyone who's doing Nifty Island, go claim your free monkey guy. Okay. Belial has made an entry into the Cult Content Chronicle, and I just got to give a side note real quick. Belial has been scaring the shit out of me lately.
Oh yeah, Belial responded to Dotta, your post yesterday. You see that?
Yeah,
Oh.
he's freaking terrifying. And I think this is my opportunity to really just rally the wizards in the cult against this warrior, because not only is he scaring the shit out of me and attacking Dotta, but he's kind of besmirching wizards overall. He's saying that just practicing magic is blasphemy. So it's kind of an attack on all of us. Belial looks like a pretty strong warrior, so I think he could handle an onslaught of wizards. So go cast some spells on him, for God's sakes.
Yeah, I mean, I just shared his tweet up top of the goat dinner, the roast goat on his warrior's table.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, you want to talk blasphemy? Look at the roast goat he's eating.
It does look good though.
Doesn't it? Strangely, it looks delicious.
Honest to God, I'm gonna eat that goat.
All right.
Whatever.
Well, yeah.
They're just a bunch of stupid ducks. Come at me, Bilal.
Yeah. You don't know what you're asking for, Bear. He's dangerous. Okay. Black Sand is teasing something really interesting. In fact, I talked with Tad about this earlier today. Tad, I'm not supposed to say much right now yet. Is that right?
No,
I mean, we can talk about it a little bit. Nothing's set yet.
Yeah, well, go ahead and tell us what you're allowed to tell us.
Well, actually, now that you say that, maybe I'm not allowed to tell you anything. But I think it's general knowledge. No, he posted on the Twitter and shared the burning ritual that we've all been hoping and waiting for is coming. Still got a few bugs left to work out, probably 2 to 3 weeks on the timeline, but have some fun things coming for you guys around that, and really excited to share it with you.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yep. Black Sand burning, it's coming. That's all we can say.
So yeah, I'm looking at the burning ritual. One of the things that's fun here is so the summoning requires one soul. Summoning one soul pony requires owning an FRWC pony and burning 2 mecha ponies. But here's the thing: what you receive at the end is your Forgotten Runes pony is unaffected. You don't lose your pony, but you do lose your mecha ponies, and you get a soul pony, and then you get 1 scrap item. So this is fun. So you get to keep your you get to keep your regular Forgotten Runes pony. I didn't realize that, actually. I thought that you had to burn your pony, and I was like, oh, that feels like a big commitment.
There is a second pathway as well that doesn't use the Forgotten Runes pony. That's just going to be mecha ponies, and then you burn 3 of those, and you burn everything, and they're all gone. But yeah, the actual mounts from Forgotten Runes are not affected anyway.
I can't wait to see these soul ponies. That sounds awesome. Okay, Crypto Radagast. Crypto Radagast basically made a Taproot wizard, a Taproot Forgotten Runes wizard. Let's put it that way. I've always loved the artwork from Taproot Wizards, as ridiculous as it is. So it's about time we see a Forgotten Runes crossover.
That's Far. I've become pretty good friends with Far. He's a really, really talented guy, and I like his art as well. especially the cats.
I love Far's art, but I can't help but point out that the Taproot Wizards are not Far's maybe original.
Hello?
I don't think that Far did the original R Bitcoin ad. Hey,
Right. Sorry, you were chopping up. Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to pure art, I really dig the cats for sure, and he also has the flares, which is really cool too.
yeah, I got a couple of those.
Well, cool. I love the one that you did, Radagast. Okay, and then okay, there's a new collection called, I think it's called Weexels or Wexels or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's like Weasels. Yeah, Wexels
Yeah,
probably.
and they did a Weexel version of me, Bear, and Dotta. I've not shared mine yet, but you can see Dota's right here in the Chronicle. Super cute, bro.
Fun.
Yep, very cute. And then, oh man, Emily is doing basically the cutest thing ever, which is cross stitching my goat.
That's so cool. It's looking really good. I also love this idea for picking colors because we've gotten into rug making and it's really hard to match the colors. And this is a great idea. You pull the colors with a little paint swatch and then find the fabric that matches. That's so smart.
Yeah, and Entropy, I know that you helped with this insofar as driving her to the craft store, right?
Oh yes. I also made her a nice little pattern to follow for doing it, and helped with the color selection process. Funny you note that we got home and realized that one of the grays underneath home lighting looks very different than it did in the store. So we're gonna go back for another ski in there and do it right. But
Better
she's
get
making
it
really good
right.
progress
Wait,
on
how
it.
did
It's
you
looking
do
awesome.
the pattern? How do you do the pattern?
I just basically took Elf's art and threw it into Illustrator and divided everything up into a grid with a little bit of spacing so that she can kind of more easily count the pixels over and make sure that she's kind of staying track to the original art.
Wow.
You are so talented.
Wow, look at the Giga Brain over here.
We like making things in
Seriously.
this household.
It's because you're a cat
crafts and some
guy. It's because you're a
costumes.
cat guy. It's because you're a cat guy.
That's pretty accurate.
Cat guys are smart.
Yeah, I got to say, I remember in the very first few months of Forgotten Runes when we started getting a lot of members making art. I remember asking if anyone did cross stitch, and we didn't find anyone at the time. But now, like 2.5 years later, we've finally got one. So I'm very excited about this. Okay, actually, here's another big announcement. Runes TCG, the tournament is now underway. And guys, there's a prize pool on this one, in a pretty decent prize pool at that. It's very exciting. Tad, or does anybody else want to just give any insight to this tournament?
Yeah, it's a tournament that also got a boost of $1,000 of Prime to the Prime pool. So it's underway already. So if you haven't signed up yet, you're too late. Had about 25 people sign up to split the prize, so pretty good odds. It's
Nice.
gonna run over probably the next week or so, but you are already involved if you know what's going on with it. So good luck to everybody. I hope I don't see you across my table.
Tad, do you have any idea who might be leading the tournament so far?
I don't. I've only played my first round, which I won 2-0, so that's a good start. But
All right.
I think some people have already played through maybe the second round. So,
Okay.
but yeah, no, it's always fun to play. And if you haven't played it yet, outside of these tournaments, they do these a lot. So pick up some cards. You can mint some for free. There's always people that are happy to give tutorials to new starters.
Awesome. Okay, Meeple Dad going strong with the daily riddles. Looks like the answer to the last one was the Jar of Rainbows. And also, again, shout out to Meeple Dad for helping me with map geography. Big help on that. Okay, Magic Monday News, episode 54. And look who the special guest was, Entropy. How was the Magic Monday News?
It was great. It was nice to hop up there and chat with the guys, talk a little bit of magic, a little bit of machine. I think they were disappointed in my answer of how many beers were in my fridge. I don't drink a whole lot. My body doesn't process it super great. I'm more of a smoker. But I did tell them that we have a good fridge with some spare beers left by some straggler beers left by friends. So there's always something in the house, and every once in a while, we'll grab it.
There was a couple of questions you told us we had to that Elf was going to have to answer. I remember one, but I don't remember the other, and I don't think we've addressed either. Can you remind us of those
Yeah,
questions?
absolutely. I was thinking they would come up in the Secret Tower questions today, but I'm happy to relay.
Okay,
The
yeah,
gist of
please.
it was we started talking about their original lead-in question with this. We were off the heels of the kobold color debate, and they asked me whether I sided on green or yellow. And then we got into the question of are all kobolds the same color? Do kobolds tan? And if they tan, what color do they become? And would that be affected by their proximity to the equator of the runic supercontinent?
These are great questions. So first of all, they're all yellow, no matter where they live. They stay yellow, no matter how much sun they're exposed to. And yeah, I think yellow. Yellow is the only thing I can tell you. So
I was going to say it's probably more of like a reddish, depending on how bad the burn is. It's like a reddish green, I would think.
No,
But
Bear. No, yellow. Yellow.
Hey, listen. I don't think we can even talk about it until we lock arms and we throw down. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So maybe we both have to fly to Europe for an arm wrestling match. I don't know.
Entropy. The answer to the question is depending on Bear and Elf's arm wrestling match.
I have a friend who was like arm wrestling another man, and like his bicep actually detached and like rolled up in his arm.
I know.
So,
I'm very worried.
Hopefully that happens to one of you
I'm very
guys.
worried for Elf and his arm after I rip it off.
You're
of his
the
body.
one with all the injuries, homie. I think it's more likely to happen to you.
Ooh, I am going to the gym. How often are you working out? I'm going to the gym 6 days a week almost.
And spending what, like 5 minutes each time?
All right. Giggle against Bear. We'll see.
Last time I was in the Bear Cave, he had like one 30-pound dumbbell, and I think I think that's what he means by gym time is just.
Oh, just
you can just
pumping that one dumbbell 8 hours a day.
I've only been doing my right arm. I may look like one of those weird crabs with one large arm.
Oh shit! Okay,
God, we're having a lot of fun today, boys.
Yep.
That's a good time.
But yeah, I think that's all.
Tack on.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Inchby.
Yeah, so not a part of the Cult Chronicle, and I don't know that there's anything necessarily huge to document yet or has been shared to Twitter, but Jmander is doing a really cool choose-your-own-adventure style approach to sort of a group storytelling between multiple wizards that he owns, and I think he's preparing to do a burn with one of those wizards and involving the cult in that process too. So it's a bit of choose-your-own-adventure. There is a survey in the Secret Tower right now. If you haven't responded to that, go vote. Let Jmander know how you think the story should go. I think there's a pretty strong lead on one of the options, but should be a fun one to watch.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because, yeah, I saw that today and I didn't know if it was a thing now, but apparently it is. And I voted for Drunken Wizard.
I did too.
I didn't get to vote. I was using my one dumbbell.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's it. You guys got anything else?
I think that's it.
I think I'm good.
Okay. Well, before you go, just remember to submit your locations to Tad. I think Tad is going to make a Google Doc and then put it in the announcements maybe tomorrow. So
yeah, we'll get a Google Doc posted up and drop it somewhere that we'll collect it all. And then if you have any problems, DM Tad.
Great. And then also go cast your spells on Belial because he really is kind of scary.
Oh yeah. Oh, and send me your gold. I'll post
and send Bear all of your gold. But if you send it to me, I'm going to make a really cool Baphomet statue.
Oh
so.
yeah, no, I would send it to me and I'll make a statue. I might take some off the top though.
Yeah, but my statue is going to be cooler, so send it to me.
It'll have really tiny arms. Yours.
All right. This has been Elf Bear, Dotta, Entropy, Tad, Matatsuki, Thomas Jefferson, and all of the wizards of the Forgotten Runes Wizards Cult, channeling out from the Quantum Downs. GN, everybody.
Bye.